gonna look back, 'cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change, slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
Let's see if we got what it takes at the Players Edge tonight to find some winners this Saturday at Keeneland. And so far, if anything, the first couple of days at Keeneland have proven is don't fear the odds.
No, you can't fear the odds. No way.
We have Sean Terry returns, Swiss Army Sean, and Chris Pomerleau's filling in for 22-1 Tom, who unfortunately couldn't make it tonight. So how you doing tonight, Chris?
I am fantastic. Thanks for having me on again.
I love your setup in the background, dude. You look the most ready out of any of us, and we all been doing this for a while, and this is your second time with us. So
that's actually my junkie office. It's pretty dirty and pretty cluttered, as you can see.
That's all right. Looks fantastic. Sean, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, and I agree, man. I need to get some kind of setup like that.
Yeah, you just have like this thing behind your head, dude. You can't even see what it is.
It's a Joe Namath thing with the Jets, so.
Oh, it's Joe Namath.
I know, you don't want to see that anyway. Huh?
Joe Namath and the Jets? Dude, that guy, you were like nowhere near around when Joe Namath won.
I know, and I'm really not a big Joe Namath fan either, but I'm a Jets fan, so.
Sean, you need some props.
Yeah, you need one of those for sure. Who's the sideline reporter that Joe Namath got a little bit too friendly with?
Was it Michelle
Susie
Tafoya?
Colbert, was it? Or
No.
Michelle Tafoya?
I don't even know if it was Michelle Tafoya.
That may well.
But yeah, I remember exactly what you're talking about. That was that was fun.
Had a few of those before that game, I guess, or during that game. I guess he stockpiled a little bit before the 2-minute warning. Hey, Terry, how are you tonight?
Hey, I'm doing really good today. Yeah, had a great time today watching the Keeneland races. Even though we didn't get the pick fours, I thought we did really good, you know. And if I'd been playing without that budget, I would have had that last pick four. So,
well, if I play with infinite money, I would never lose either. That's how it goes, right?
That's just called.
If I had Elon Musk money, I would do a lot more than buy Twitter, man. I would all every race for the rest of my life, and then call myself the world's greatest handicapper because I would never lose.
Hey, you could have done that yesterday. That pick 5 paid $322,000. You could have all through there and get that maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I got some picks tonight where. Ooh, I know Tom can't be with us, but I feel like, I don't know. Have any of you guys ever read a book called No One Gets Out of Here Alive? It's the biography of Jim Morrison from The Doors.
No,
it's a great read. I mean, the guy was absolutely nuts. There's no question about that. But in the book, he said he got that from as a little kid driving by, and there was a car accident, and there was a person on the side of the road, and that person's spirit then came into him. Ooh. So Tom might not be here today, and I'm not saying he got in a car accident or anything like that, but after I went through my picks, man, sure as hell feel like the spirit of Tom got into me today, and you guys will understand why when we get through the picks a little bit later on. So the first race we're going to do tonight is the Giants Causeway Stakes. It's a 5.5 furlong race on the turf course. And just a quick kind of setup for what a profile of a winner at 5.5 furlongs on Keeneland might look like. There were 14 races last time at Keeneland in the last meet. 12 of them were won by horses that got near the front. Half of them won going wire to wire. And strangely, in a quick short race like this, there's actually an inside 3 penalty. So get outside the 3 and you do all right. It's a little bit of a bonus tonight. I did this and I put together the race shape. I can't wait to see how Chris disagrees with me on this completely, but this is what it looks like to me. I might do it a little bit differently than Chris. I only use the races where horses won. I don't use races where they did not win. I don't know, Chris, how do you put yours together?
I look at really, I guess, line to line and just kind of get a determination what pace style each horse is. I mean, I think the Brisnet Curin points they have on there, I think that's pretty much for the most part pretty accurate.
Well, I don't use the Curin points at all, so I don't know that that's going to help me or hurt me, but I just look at how they won a race and the style that they used to win the race, and I figure that's the style that they need to win a race again, so that's how I set it up. So looking at this race, it looks to me like you got a lot of horses that need to be up front. Maybe it opens the door for a closer where 50% of the horses went wire to wire. Certainly, I think you probably want to be the speed of the speed. Sean, you like to do pace breakdowns. How do you see the race playing out?
So I did see a bunch of speed in here, but I did see the speed of the speed. So I went number 12, LZ. The won 3 straight races, and I think as long as she clears from the outside, gonna win. Has won over this turf before on only 2 tries. This distant turf, she's 6 for 13 with 2 seconds. Will be the speed of the speed. Just needs to clear early. That's the only question. This will be the 14th race in a row too with jockey Mitchell Morrell. So he knows her very well. And then change of number 5, change of control, should be about middle pack and will close in all the speed ahead of her. Likes Keeneland, winning 2 of her 4 starts with a second as well. Has done well against tougher competition in the past. And then I went number 11, Going Good. Second start after a 7-month break. Has only finished out of the exacta twice in 9 career starts. Both of those races he got bumped or steadied in the beginning of those races. With a clean trip, this horse is always in the exacta and right there to win.
All right, Terry, what do you say?
Well, I'll tell you, I think that this is going to be number 11 Going Good's race, because I think the 12 is never start from way outside like that. There's some really good inside speed. I think Going Good's going to run second. She ran second to LEZ in her last race, but I think she'll turn the tables this time. She has a high percentage winning trainer, Brad Cox, and the switches to a good jockey, winning jockey, Tyler Glaffione. Now, number 12, LEZ, is really a classy horse, but she's won her last 3 races in a row, as we know. But I think that there is some inside speed that may pressure her. Number 6, Jouster. Number 8, Hear My Prayer. Number 9, Headline Hunter, and so on. So I think she may fade slightly and allowing Going Good to run on by her. And number 3 is my third pick, Campanella, right from Europe in October of last year, and ran third in a grade 3 race. She took a 6-month break, but now she's been steadily working out to return for this competition. And she is trained by Wesley Ward and ridden by Irad Ortiz Jr. That's a combination in the last 14 days of won 2 out of 5. And then I like number 9, Headline Hunter. Has won her last 2 races at Gulfstream Park and has only been out of the money in 1 of her races during her career. And she loves to be in the mix. She has 2 really good bullet workouts in a row, which shows she's fit to run.
Chris, any conspiracy theories this week?
I got no conspiracy theories at all this week, but I may have something else. So I want to drop a couple stats on you guys first.
Fire away.
First thing is, I swear Keeneland is, I don't know, it's in Kentucky, but I swear it's a rainforest because it literally rains there like every day. I've been playing right along the whole time. The good news is Saturday does look dry. I think there's a lot of rain coming tomorrow. So I'm not really sure how this is going to play on turf, but what's happened so far, and I don't know if it has something to do with the slop or not, but speed on the front end has been killer here over the first few days of the meet. And the interesting thing is when the track does get sloppy, it's been favoring some of the pressers and closers. But I've got 3 stats that I just want to throw at you guys. The first one is these are all shippers. So shippers from Oaklawn are 0 for 21 on the main track, which is interesting. At shippers from Aqueduct on the main track are 0 for 6. And Turfway Park, which is also in Kentucky, you'd probably want to look elsewhere on some of those Turfway shippers going into Keeneland on the turf because they're 0 for 14. So I think there's some good numbers there and some things to look at. And I love your pace thing that you had, Rich. I think that was fantastic. My top rated that I have, and this is before I looked at the morning lines, my top rated is LZ, like the other guys had, the 12. I don't think it's going to be a big issue going from the far outside, having the speed on the outside post. I think this horse is the speed of the speed. And when I look at this race from a pace standpoint, it could get hot. However, I do think that LZ is the pace of the speed. I think she's speed of the speed. I think she can get out front. I don't think there's anybody that can run with that horse going early. So I think that horse is pretty good. I'm going to throw a long shot at you because it is Keeneland, and you have to hit a long shot here and there, I think, to really do well.
I think you have to have one in every race. That's
now,
here and there. It's
especially at Keeneland. I like the 6 Jouster. The morning line is 12-1, and I'm looking at the speed figures, and I'm looking at this one, and it looks very competitive. What's interesting is this horse is cutting back. It looks like a root horse. However, when you go back and you look at some of the PPs line to line, it does appear this horse has a ton of early speed, and I think this one may be able to show a little bit more on the front end. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm going to take a shot here with Jouster. And I also like the to round things out, I like Going Good. And I'm, 5 for 7, you win place, that's pretty good. But there's one thing that I really key in here with the jockey, Tyler Gaffalione. I love Tyler Gaffalione. I think he is a very underrated jockey, if that's possible.
It depends on who's betting on him, I guess.
I always prefer,
if I bet on him, he's definitely overrated. If I don't bet on him, he's the king.
You got to look at Tyler when he takes over a new mount, because he has a special gift to really make horses feel comfortable. As and you'll notice on this one, Going Good, one of the things I looked at is he's taken the mount. I don't remember who was on the one last time. I don't have it in front of me here, but
on the 11 horse.
Yeah, on the 11.
Last time out, it was
Martin Pedrosa.
Uh-huh. So, and then Tyler rode him 3 times before that.
And if you look at it, Tyler, I think, had 2 wins, and I think the other one was a lot of troubled start. I think it got stumbled out of the gate. So I like this one. Again, the pace, I think it could go any way. I think LZ is the top of the class here. But I feel like Jouster is probably the play here, especially if the morning line comes true at 12-1. I'm taking a shot on that one.
He's also perfect at Keeneland's 1 for 1. So,
all right. So let's see how crazy Rich is today, because, like I said, the spirit of 22-1, Tom got into me. I like LZ. Looking at it, is one of the 2 E horses, going to be up near the front. I do worry about the ability to get around those horses before that turn, but does have a little bit of runway at 5.5 furlongs. 5 furlongs, I'd be really concerned, but I think that extra half furlong will be enough to clear and hopefully go wire to wire in this one. Jouster is my second pick, Chris. So I think you and Terry are the ones that have been putting that malicious software on my computer, checking out my picks before we get going here. But as you mentioned, that horse is 1 for 1 for Keeneland. Second race off the break here. And it's the other one that's likely to be up front as well. So you got a horse 2 horses that should get to the front at a distance and surface where speed has won 50% of the races. And then if you look too at the workouts, not that bad, but we'll see how it goes. Then my next pick is Campanelli. Sean, your 3 horse. This is a horse that is coming in from, or did you take the 3 horse, Terry? I don't remember.
I didn't. None of us actually brought up the 3 yet.
I did.
Terry did.
Oh, okay. He was my 3rd pick.
I just got a little confused there, but this is a horse to me. Looks like it's one of the 2 horses in here. Well, a handful of horses, 4 of them, that can either sit right off the lead or come from behind if the pace gets a little too hot. So it's got a little bit of Terry in it. Looking at the horse's history on a good track, did win some nice races over in Britain on a good track, ran a really nice race at Gulfstream Park on a firm course. But if it catches an off track because there's a little bit of rain or a little bit of wetness, as Chris mentioned, horse has done really well, and those European horses tend to like it when it's a little bit softer. And then another shot I'm going to take right here, Terry, with you is Headline Hunter, the 9 horse. This horse has the top early pace numbers in the field, Chris, so maybe it jumps out in front of the 9 or the 6. And it's at a distance where half of the winners, like I said, have an opportunity to win if they just get to the front. So if he can run the right fractions, Headline Hunter could be the one. I think that horse is like 20-1 or 30-1, something like that. Morning line.
30-1.
30-1, yeah.
With Umberto Rispoli on there, who's not a bad jockey either. It's a little bit of a jockey change. So hopefully we can catch a price on this one, Terry and I. Maybe not our top choice, but at 30-1, if it were to become our top choice, we can pull some in behind it. It would be a hell of a good way to start Saturday afternoon at Keeneland.
So 2 concerns about the morning line favorite there, Campanella. She's won 4-7 races. 2 of those 3 that she hasn't won have been at Keeneland. And also, she's lost to some of these other horses the last time she raced.
So you just gave her the winner's circle.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You're welcome.
We appreciate the vote of confidence. All right, so race number 9. This race doesn't make sense to me, guys. What do you think? It is the last race. Not that the race itself doesn't make sense to me. I'm really going to go nutty in this one. I'll be surprised if my picks match. If I have one pick that matches everybody else's, maybe 2 at the most. But maybe I'll be wrong on this. But this is the last Kentucky Derby qualifying race. The winner only gets 20 points. So kind of the last one for 20 points, like what's the point? Only one horse in this field, I feel like, can get enough points to get into the up to the top 20 in terms of points. The rest of them, if they get 20 points, it might put them towards the 22, 23, and if other horses could scratch in. But don't you feel like the last Kentucky Derby qualifying race should have some consequences, Terry?
Oh, I do. Absolutely. Yeah.
How about you, Sean?
Yeah, I agree. And actually, 2 concerns out of this is number 4, Ethereal Road, just ran last Saturday, running again.
Well, that's the one horse that can qualify with the points.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me that it's in the race.
So a real quick turnaround, and then it's going to be, 3 weeks in the Derby if he even qualifies. So, and then also Tawny Port as well is 2 weeks. So they're really rushing them back to get those few points that they can get.
But I don't know that does 20 can 20 qualify, because when I was looking through it, it looked to me like the only one that really had a chance was Eternal Road.
Don't Tawny Port have some?
Let's see. Well, it does have 40 points, so it's already at 20. So yeah, I mean,
it would just be enough.
It's already in the race. So I mean, I guess you want to be in the race and collect some points and hope that you collect enough to make sure you're in the race. But I would even think where it is right now, maybe one horse could pass it, and that would be Eternal Road. But you have to think there'll probably be one more scratch out of here. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I was just going to ask the 2 in due time. Where's he on that point scoreboard you just had?
Oh, he's got 20 points too. So he's another one that can get in there, I guess.
Yeah, and what's really odd, it's really not good that they have horses, wait for 4 to 5 weeks before they race nowadays. But back in the 50s and the 60s, they were racing them every 10 days to 14 days. All the time. So
this is 122 grand he's got, and this race is for 400. So yeah, if you win 60% of this race, you're going to get you're going to win the tiebreaker on the money. So maybe there are 3 points, but I still feel like 3 that can get in here. But I still feel like there should be a win and you're in for the last race instead of just kind of rushing up and in and hoping you can collect some crumb points to get yourself in, right?
Yeah, or at least 100-point race like the other one type in.
Man, Charles, what are you doing, bro? You're going to find out in a minute, man. But all right, so in the Lexington, and there's a couple of reasons why I'm going to sound like Tom tonight, and you'll pick up on it right away, Sean, why it's going to sound like Tom. But I know you won't sound like Tom, so why don't you get us started with your picks?
Well, you're starting with me both times. All right.
Well, why not? We got to save the best for last, so we'll make you go first.
I think the best is second. So,
well, then we'll make sure Chris goes next.
All right. So I have number 3, Santa Sarah has won 3 of her 4 races here in the U.S. I'm on the wrong race, ain't I?
Probably.
Yeah, I am. I'm on the next one.
That's making me look good, Sean. Thank you.
All right. Number 7, Major General. Won his first 2 career races, then had a 6-month layoff before coming back for the Tampa Bay Derby. In that race, he stumbled really bad, lost all chances, ended up finishing 10th. So you can just throw that race out. I think he has a good chance here to get an uncontested early lead if he wants. And he's adding blinkers as well, which could help. So I'm going Major General. Number 3, We All See It. Looking for potential at a price, and this is the horse. If he runs back to his last race, he competes here. The question is, that's such a big jump, and you talk about this all the time, Rich. That buyer number improved by 36 points. So the odds of him being able to keep that, but with the odds, I'm going to take my chance here. I like the addition of getting WILEY as a board, and he should be 4 early placed too on a pace that I don't see that's going to be too quick. Third, I use number 2 in due time, has won 2 of his first 4 career races and didn't run badly in the other 2 as well. Can be 4 early placed or come off the pace. Has the best buyer number in the field with his 92 starts ago. He was also the one that Paco kind of caused that whole thing in that race when he came in
when he got suspended. So here's his chance to make good, so to speak.
Yeah, so I don't know how good of a run that was or not, because he kind of took out half the field when he got second. So
No, it's a little bit of NASCAR driving there for you. You mentioned the pace. So I forgot that I did the pace setup here as well. And you're right, Sean. There is from horses that have won and how they've won. It's really not a lot of early pace here. You can see the field is stacked towards the back. So the front horses should be able to get fractions to their liking, unless, of course, they go out like a horse did today in, I forget what race it was, but the one horse on the turf race at Keeneland goes out by itself 5 lengths ahead of everybody else and then just fades. And I don't see any reason why to go out 5 lengths ahead of everybody else. And I think that was Saez on that horse as well, Sean. All right, Chris, you're going second. So what do you think about that pace setup there?
I think your pace setup is really good. I don't see a lot of pace in this race. And to be honest with you, I spent a lot of time looking at this, and I was really looking hard for some positives. I don't like betting on horses if I can't find good things to say about different things going on. So I looked at this race in detail, and I'm going to tell you that my opinion is this is a bad field. This is a bad field of how they're ending up the Derby preps. I've been watching every one of these races, these Derby prep races intensely, going back, watching the replays. I'm not excited about this one. I don't know how to say it, but I'll tell you my top pick, and I think he's going to be a lot lower than the morning line come post time, is number 3. I think it's number 2, In Due Time.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why. First off, this horse was in the Fountain of Youth and got up to finish second behind Simplification. The owners could have gone back, and the trainer, Kelly Breen, they could have had this horse race in about 5 or 6 different other races since the Fountain of Youth back on March the 5th. There's other places they could have gone to get the Derby points. I think they knew this field was going to be pretty weak. I think this horse is going to dominate everybody else in this field. I think this horse was pointed towards this Lexington race. And plus, we all want Paco Lopez in the Derby. Let's just keep it real. He makes things more interesting at the end of the day. So I think this horse here is probably a single in my eyes. I'm either going to roll the dice and go single with In Due Time, or I would just spread with a bunch of others and see what happens. But his morning line, I think, is 3 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you his morning line come post time. I'm going to say 9 to 5. It's going to be 9 to 5. Second, I got Major General like Sean did. I think he stumbled last start. Maybe he takes a big step forward with Irad taking the reins. Third is Tawny Point. I thought he ran a really nice pace figure last time out. We got Flo the Jockey gets on the mount. Finished second to Tiz the Bomb. I saw Tiz the Bomb last time, and I've seen that horse race a couple times now. It doesn't blow me away. I think it's a pretty steady, consistent horse, but I'm just not sure if Tawny Point is the real deal. And I guess if you need me to throw something at the back end, we've got Call Me Midnight, who did beat Epicenter. We forget about that. It's the only horse that's beaten Epicenter, but he did that. And then my favorite, when I started doing these writings, Dash Attack is in this race. So again, I forgot about Dash Attack. So maybe Call Me Midnight, Dash Attack, get in the mix. But I really think this one's all about the 2 In Due Time.
So on that 20 port, I was looking at that horse too, but it's run on this is an all-weather horse to me. It's not a dirt horse. It's run on the all-weather 3 times, has 2 wins in a second, ran on the dirt and just was awful. I don't know if it was just a bad race for that horse or what it was, but when I saw that, it's the horse doesn't really show that it can run on dirt. Until it does, I'm going to say that it can't. What do you say, Terry?
Well, I kind of agree a little bit with Sean. I like number 7, Major General, and I watched that race 3 or 4 times today, the one where he ran 10th by 25 lengths. And when he stumbled, his nose just about hit the ground. And it appeared to me that the jockey just really never tried to do much with him. So I like him because he's won 2 out of his last 3 races, and he finished, of course, that disappointing 10th in that last race. He has a high percentage winning trainer, Todd Fletcher, and he switches to a high percentage winning jockey, Irad Ortiz, and they add blinkers today, which can help. Then I like number 2, In Due Time. This horse has won two out of 4 career races, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. The trainer wins 17% of the time when he goes when he takes a horse that has been entered in the route, and of course that's wrong. And then number 8, Stava, has finished in the money in all 3 of his career races. He finished 3rd in the last race after breaking through the gate before the race went off. I think that affected him, but he is perfect at Keeneland and winning the only race he has ran there. And then number 11, Call Me Midnight. He likes the distance and of this race, and he's performed well at Keeneland, and his best dirt speed is also fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with the horse that I was discussing above. So.
All right, Charles, you stole my thunder, my friend. This is 1 mile 16th on the main track. They've run 33 races of it in the last meet. 23 were won by the speed horses. 11 went wire to wire. The rail won 33% of the races as well. And if you get 4 through 7, they win at 3 times 8+. So there's a big penalty if you wear a big number at 1 16th mile on the Keeneland track. At least there was last time out. So I'm going to start off with that number 8 horse at 20-1. And now I'm going to really sound like Tom. Strava, last time out, finished second behind Cyberknife, and that was after breaking through the gate. Was pretty well bet in that race as well. And if we do I finished second to the horse who finished second to Secretariat. That makes me the best horse in the field, right? It's like those SAT questions.
Tyler definitely owned, huh?
Yeah, I know. So I just jinxed it. But I guess, it's second time on the horse in a row for Tyler. He did win at Keeneland with Tyler in his debut. So I like Strava at 20-1. My next pick, the second choice for me, is going to be In Due Time. I do think this horse is going to be the pace setter in a field that is loaded with closers and stalkers. Ethereal Chrome. I know it ran recently, as Sean has mentioned, but those late pace numbers are off the chart relative to most every other horse in this field. So they're going to be a big bunch of horses in the back. You're going to need the one that has the most late kick. It's going to be Ethereal Chrome. And then finally, I'm going to go with the rail horse in here, and that is Midnight Chrome. Won its only race going wire to wire on the rail. I mean, going wire to wire, and it actually was the post position. There's not a lot of front end speed in here, and this horse primarily has run on turf. The last time out it ran on dirt was in the Remsen Stakes, lost to Modangle, lost to Zenden, came in 3rd. Those 2 horses came back to win the Wood Memorial and the Bluegrass Stakes, both of which are in the Kentucky Derby now. And I love Jose Ortiz. I feel like he'll get this horse in the right place to make a good run. And considering the competition that this one's faced, and they're in the Derby with 100 points, I'm going to give Midnight Chrome every shot. So I have a 20-1 on the top, a 21 on the bottom, and some prices in the middle. Tom definitely took over my spirit tonight. Might not be here, but he's absolutely here.
And Charles got into your computer too. So there's a bunch of people into your computer, man.
I know my passwords and stuff must be on the dark web everywhere, unquestionably. This last race is not quite as deep as the others, with only 6 horses in it. Race number 10, the one we're going to cover last, the Jenny Wiley Stakes. It is a grade 1 for $500,000. 1 1/16 miles on the turf. In the last meet, they ran 15 races like it. 8 were won by stalkers and closers. 4, however, managed to go wire to wire. And once again, here we see a major post position bias with the inside 3 dominating. And this race is symmetrical perfectly with the pace setup. You have 1 horse that wants to be on the lead, 1 horse that likes to close, and 4 in the middle that can either pressure or they can close off the pace. Chris, your turn to go first, my friend. What do you see in this turf race?
I see that the pace could get hot. I think the real true speed here is the 5. But listen, at the end of the day, when I look at going 1 mile in 16, anything over 1 mile, and it's Chad Brown, that's where I put my money. And when I get looking at it, the 4 Regal Glory, top rated on my list, 2 for 2, you know, at a mile and 16th. Chad Brown, Jose Ortiz on turf. I think that looks really good. But, you know, here's a lesson I had to learn the hard way the past couple of years at Saratoga. Don't take one Chad Brown. They kind of come in a package. If he's got 2 horses running in a race, you better take 2. Because what would happen is I'd always like one and the other one would beat me. So I'm not going to let that happen here. So I'm taking the Chad Brown over the Chad Brown. So I'm going the 4 Regal Glory over Shantasara. And the thing about Shantasara, I put the other one on top of. I think he wants a little more distance in this. I think he's bred to go a little bit further at the end of the day. So Chad Brown over Chad Brown is how I'm rolling here. And there's an interesting pace scenario here on this race. I like these examples like this. And I don't know if you did a pace chart, Rich, so I won't call you out on this one. But
I did. I could put it back up.
Maybe. So yours looks a little bit different than what I drew up. But what I like here is you have 1 early speed. I've got 4 early pressers, and I've got 1 presser. And what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at, first off, the pace dictates it should be a late speed because you got 31 Kieran points here at the end of the day. What I'm looking at is this is a perfect scenario where you have that underneath horse, and I don't think he's going to win, but the 2, WILEY, this to me is a perfect second and third horse to play in exactas and to end out your try because he's the back speed. I guess we just said the early speed of the early speed. He's the back speed in this race. And if things do get hot and one of those Chad Browns does not fire or something happens, I like the 2 underneath at a price. And I think this is the way to go. And this is where I think pace handicapping really pays off.
Terry, what do you think is going to pay off?
Well, I think that me and Chris have a lot in common, although I think he likes number 4 on top and I like number 3 on top, Chantera. Chantera arrived from France in her first race. She bobbled at the break and steadied in the race and ran second. Then she won the next 3 races, and the last one was a Grade 1 Queen Elizabeth II Cup. She has not raced since last October, but has been working out steady, including a bullet workout on April 10th. And then I like number 4, Regal Glory, is my second pick. Has won 5 out of the last 7 races. The last win was a Grade 3 at Gulfstream Park, and she has a bullet workout also on the 10th. Same day, same workout, and unless they made a mistake in the form, it's the same exact matches to Santera. And then I like number 6, Lady Spear, won her last 4 races of her career in Canada. Then she came to the States and has been close, but no wins. But she also has some decent workouts, and her jockey has a jockey change to Louis Saez, which maybe make a little bit of a difference. Then I like number 5, Navratilova. I can't pronounce some of these.
That's the tennis player.
Yeah. All right.
Navratilova.
All right. Well, anyway, this
Navratilova. Yes, Navratilova. I screwed it up myself. Anyway,
that's right. I always screw these horse names up. But anyway, she finishes 3rd in her last race after taking a 4-month break, and the trainer wins 21% of the time when his entries run in the second race off of a layoff. And she has a bullet workout also at Keeneland on the turf, 49-1, breezing best of 7.
And can be on the front. Sean,
so,
are you going to screw up any names here too?
Oh, I'm sure I am. So the pace I see,
that's the point of the whole show.
Yeah. So the pace I see a little different. I don't see it being that fast of a pace, but you got the 2 outside horses. And honestly, I think with Saez on, Lady Spitefear is the speed. If she wants to lead, she's going to get the lead. So my pick is number 3, Santa Sarah. Has won 3 of her 4 races here in the U.S. The only one she lost was her first race here and also at Monmouth without the whip. Has been off for 6 months and looks like she's ready to go. The workouts haven't been great, but they've been decent. There should be enough pace just with those 2 horses to keep everyone honest and help her chances. The 4, Regal Glory. So when I was looking at this race without diving into the program, Regal Glory was going to be my pick. Has won 10 of 17 races, 2 for 2 at the distance. Should be 4 early placed. has been off for over 2 months, but there's a lot of gaps in her racing. And the biggest reason I chose against her is this is another one. She's lost 7 career races. 3 of them came at Keeneland, and she's had 2 seconds in 3 starts. Just couldn't play her against a really good horse when she has not had success at Keeneland. Lady Spitesfear is my third pick because this is the horse that if she gets clear and there's no pressure at all, this might be the one that gets loose. Has won 4 of her 7 career races, always been in tough races. Has the speed, needs it here. And the only horse in the field that's put a recent string together. Everybody else, they've come back after breaks. They've had 1 race or they're coming back off a break. This is the only horse that's been racing consistently for the last month, every month and a half.
All right. So I agree with the top 2 horses. I feel like you can maybe go ice cold, 3-4, 4-3, whichever way you like it. I put the 3 horse on top. Again, I think that Charles is maybe I've taken on Charles's spirit when I'm taking the 8 horse as my first pick in the last race like he did in Lexington. And now I have Shantasara. Don't say that 3 times too fast because you might get banned. The horse has won 3 in a row, has done nothing wrong. The only thing that concerns me a little bit is that long break there from October to now. Horse hasn't really had, the last time I had a similar break, came back and ran at Monmouth and finished 4th. Second by 4 1/4 lengths, but did have a kind of goofy start, maybe a little bit of rust on that race. I'm hoping not any rust here. But those 3 wins were all with Flavian on the irons. Today, Flavian is in the irons once again. Regal Glory is my next pick. It's another horse that it's been off, but not that long. The horse has run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 super high quality races in its last 7 starts. Bullet Workout says it's going to be sharp again. So I think you got the 3 and the 4. Those are your primary horses to beat. So a little bit chalky after trying to find some bombs in the other races. I do think that Navratilova can be the horse that steals this race if it can get to the lead, Sean, especially if it can run. If you're looking back at its past performances, if Navratilova is on the lead and at the half-mile call, it's 48.5 or more, it's going to be really hard to run this one down. And I think based upon the way the horse is set up in this race, it'll have a chance to run fractions like that. And then finally, the last pick of the day, I agree with you, Chris, that Waliak, I guess that's putting together what's his name? The basketball player, Wally Zerbiak, putting his name into one shorter name, Waliak. This horse has the top late pace figures in the field and can, if need be, sit right off the leaders if they're going too slow. And if it gets too hot, take a little bit more of a patient trip and use those late legs to bring her home to close out our picks for the Saturday stakes card at Keeneland. All right, guys, any final thoughts in here today?
In due time. Race 9, Paco Lopez. We need Paco Lopez in the Derby.
Yes, indeed. So we can play bumper cars.
That might be the worst thing. That might be, we can't have 2 years of bad press from the Kentucky Derby.
We're not going to say Paco's going to get bad press. You don't know. I mean, maybe the guy goes on and wins the thing, right, in a clean race. And
Paco makes things exciting. That's why I love Paco.
Absolutely, 100% for sure. If you hadn't had a chance to yet, you wrote a pretty nice story about what's Crown. Oh God, I can't. Crown Pride. Help me out again here, Chris.
It's Crown Pride, and I've botched it 1,000 times myself, so don't feel bad.
Yeah. So if you head on over to horseracingtoday.net, you can look up Chris's writing. Excellent stuff as always, Chris. So if you take a look at this, you'll see Crown Pride and get a sense of basically where the horse comes from pedigree wise. Nice little chart right here. This little matrix. Pace type, speed figures, resume. So if you're kind of interested in how the Japanese horse might do in the Kentucky Derby in a year where the Japanese horses have done phenomenally well, you're not going to find a better write-up than that. And if you do like what you saw here today, please do us a big favor. And Rocco Pocky Derby fans. Yes, indeed. That would be a lot of fun, I think, for sure. But you can head on over to horseracingtoday.net. Do us a favor, pick up a little bit of HRT gear before you go to the track. You will look sensational, and you'll be a better handicapper for it. I think I read somewhere 9 out of 10 dentists approve that message.
Yes, I think that's true. Yeah.
All right, folks. That wraps it up for tonight. Tomorrow, unfortunately, Tom will be out again. So there will be no Foreign Fridays tomorrow. Saturday, Terry and I will be back. We will be doing a race at Aqueduct, a race at Oaklawn, one at Woodbine for Saturday, and then another stakes race for Woodbine on Sunday to clean up all of the stakes races for Saturday afternoon. Thanks, Charles. Have a great day. Yes, and Chris does make some great articles. All right, that wraps it up for now. Sean, quick rundown of the schedule for Horse Center next week.
Yeah, Horse Center Monday to Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Monday we have apprentice jockey Brianna Cup. Tuesday we have jockey Kevin Roman. And then Wednesday we have retired jockey Rosemary Heimeister Jr.
Should be another fantastic week of Horse Center. Maybe it'll be horse-centered by then. We'll see. All right. Until then, folks, we hope everybody has a fantastic night. Chris and Terry, we'll put it on both of you right now. We hope that your Saturday afternoon, everything you do today, till we meet again, ends up in the
Winner's Circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic evening. Thanks for joining us, folks.
Thanks, guys.